everybody. I'm Dr. Rohan. I'm working as tobacco treatment specialist. It's a very upcoming field. It's very less known about this field, but there's a huge need. So my topic for today is urgent need to work together for tobacco treatment. I'll just take you throughout a presentation which will show why there is a need of such kind of tobacco treatment services in our country. That's fine. No? There are a lot of misconceptions in people in India, like cancer happens to a person in our neighborhood, it never happens in our house. So again, it's a very big myth. बहुत कम लोगों को होता है मैंने बहुत कम इस्तेमाल करता हूँ. I mean, there's again in India what is more common is smokeless form of tobacco. So smokeless form of tobacco, whatever quantity you eat, it's not more important, but but you're eating that tobacco product itself, you are more liable and more possibility to get cancer. India, this is the present statistics. What says India is the highest has the highest incidence of the oral cancer in the world. It's 50 among 10,000. So you can understand what is the rate at which the cancer is. People are getting affected by this particular disease.
Is it only because of tobacco? This oral cancer.
Yeah, 90% is because of tobacco. So you can see one of the major institutes in India, the Tata Memorial Hospital, which operates almost 6,000 neck cases every year, 2,300 major surgeries, 4,000 minor surgeries, and 200 patients. See the load which the hospital is carrying and the expense, the money the people are spending for this particular disease. I came across a very situation and an example where one of the doctors said ki it's not that the person who is eating tobacco, previously they used to eat tobacco and they used to die with the disease. But now what is happening is even the tobacco, because it's banned, a lot of states have banned gutkhas and all. The person who is a very low income or middle class person who is actually spending more than what he can to buy this product. So first of all, he is putting his family into poverty, and he is actually spending that money which he should spend on his family to get that tobacco. Second one is once he gets detected with cancer, then again there is a huge expense which again puts the family more into poverty. So this is not just the person who is dying, and because of his death again the family, his family will suffer because there is no earning person who is going to die. But again the loan and other things which the family is going to face up because of his death. This is again something like people feel smoking is cool. It may, girls may love it, but I don't know if girls love it or not. But you're going to suffer and to pay a heavy price for it. Again, there is a misconception like tobacco reduces work pressure, but it's not a fact. The fact is, an example of a 40-year-old accountant who smoked 2 packs a day. He was the only earning member of his family, and he's lost his job. And the family is again gone into poverty. So this is a very good example where you can see what harmful effects of tobacco. Cancer happens only to adults. Again, this is a big misconception. I mean, people say कि मेरे दादाजी इतना दिन खाते थे. I mean, people are eating a lot of अभी तो कुछ नहीं हुआ. But the thing is, you never know when you can get affected by it. So he's a 16-year-old boy who wanted to be a cricketer. He got addicted to cigarette smoking since 6 years, and he's in stage 3 cancer. So it's very difficult. Again, gutka and pan masala are safer than smoking. See, smoking is cigarettes. Cigarettes also contain tobacco. Pan masalas and gutka also contain tobacco. So whatever forms of tobacco, there is nothing like that. Cigarette is more harmful or smoking or gutka is more harmful. All are equally harmful. So this is a 20-year-old graduate who aspires to be a pilot, but he is again a gutka chewer who is suffering from cancer, and again the life expectancy itself is reduced to 2 years. Tobacco chewing improves concentration. Again, a very big misconception. A lot of drivers, a lot of people who work at night, watchmen and security guards, they use tobacco just to stay awake or so that they get a kick or it can stay awake. But this again causes a lot of problems, like truck driver who was having tobacco chewing habit and is got affected with the mouth cancer. Again, the life expectancy is not more than less than 6 months. Another thing is women are less affected, but that again is a misconception. There is nothing like men or women. Women are equally affected. Women in fact are affected more like other breast and ovarian and other cancers, but tobacco use is they are equally affected as good as men are affected. So if that women are also chewing tobacco, there will be equal chances of getting them being affected by oral cancers. We do cases of this. There's a product called Masheri, which is that powder which people use to as a toothpaste while it's very when they get some dental problems or something like nausea, vomiting. Also, there's a misconception where they can use it. There's a ritual where they actually use this kind of tobacco. They burn it, and this powder is being used. It's a very harmful thing, and women are more affected. We see more women affected because of using those kind of tobacco products. So the tobacco products may vary, but women are equally affected. Does biopsy worsen cancer? This is again a misconception. 29-year-old graduate who was again, biopsy is done unless and until you do a biopsy, histopathology report, you won't come to know it's a cancer or not. So people are afraid of doing a biopsy, but that should not be delayed. My grandfather died at 80, and though he was a smoker, so that is not the case. But once you're a smoker, you're actually 10 times more likely to die from cancer of throat. If you are a smoker, you're 50 times more likely to die of mouth cancer and 12 times more likely to die of lung cancer. You can see the high incidence in children in a study which shows about 9.9% of gutka chewers in children. So this is something very shocking, because children at very young age get this habit, and then it's very difficult for them to quit, because they get affected very easily and they get addicted to it very easily. These are different ways these tobacco companies actually do advertisement, and how they get this particular young group into them so that they get addicted to it, buy these products and get addicted. So this is the main reason why of my taking this particular talk today is see the number of people using tobacco, and it's 163 million people use smokeless forms of tobacco. In India, smokeless forms vary from states, region, culture, everything. The smokeless products like pan, tambaku, gutka, mawa, masheri, all these products are smokeless forms of tobacco. Outside India, it is more of smoking, but in Asian countries and India, it's more of smokeless form. And this smokeless forms goes unnoticed. We have all these bans and on all government offices and other places where we cannot have smoking, but then smokeless goes unnoticed, and smokeless is again a major cause of, as I said, oral cancer. These are again the different forms of, again you can see small children being employed in the BD factories. This is again a very bad thing which is happening. This is because once you are above 40 age of age, your skills of making this BDs is very, it gets affected. The productivity gets affected. So this cigarette making companies actually employ children because they are very small fingers and they can roll it quickly. But the thing is, they get affected more by this particular thing. There is this, even with the contact of tobacco and when they are preparing it, they are affected by it. They get different diseases because of this. Hookah, again, government has taken out the hookah ban, but legally it may be right, but morally it is not right, because again, hookah, whatever quantity of nicotine it has, but nicotine is a substance which causes addiction. But that time the hookah may have less amount of nicotine, but once you develop the nicotine addiction, you might land up in after hookah then a cigarette, because you have to fulfill those nicotine demands. Snuff is again very different kind of tobacco where we actually take it through nose, and this is again very popular in India. So you can see in India there are various products. So fighting this particular disease in India is become a very big challenge, and so this tobacco treatment we have to come together to fight this particular ailment. It's not one person or one hospital or one institution who can do it. 2,200 deaths every day, one death every 10 seconds. If you take the total number of a year and you convert it, this is the rate at which people are dying because of consumption of tobacco. The diseases may be different. Cancer is a major one, oral cancer is a major one, but not only this, there are other diseases which it's heart attacks, lung diseases, cancers. This is the burden on which the country is facing, and these are the deaths people are, number of deaths happening in particular year. So 27 crore adult Indians are using tobacco, and 9 crore Indian adults will die permanently because of this particular. So the whole number is as good as 10 tsunamis every year. So my purpose of today's talk is, first of all, I wanted to show how much necessary it is in today's particular scenario. The number of tobacco consumers, the number of deaths happening, the number of people who are pushed to poverty, the number of people who are actually spending the money which they should spend on certain good things for their family, they're spending it on tobacco. So there is a whole you can say it's a, I mean, like polio, it has to be eradicated, and it's a whole lot of efforts, whole lot of energy, whole lot of money has to fight this particular tobacco hazards or tobacco treatment. You might say ki this is a government job, why government doesn't take action on tobacco companies who are producing it? But the thing is, we are a democratic country, and every person has its own right for his livelihood, to produce or manufacture or sell. That is his right. So the government of India cannot do much about that. But government can do is they have come up with a law. What are the implications of the law? What are the law? How effectively it is implemented? That is a different topic. We can discuss it some other day. But the government of India does have a tobacco law in place. But this is an issue which not only India, even other governments of other countries face. But what we should do is to spread awareness among masses, to spread awareness among people. It's like something people know that tobacco is harmful, it's written on it, it's injurious to health, but still they consume it. The same people may not go and lie down in front of the train, or they might don't jump from a building, they don't commit suicide. But in the similar fashion, you should explain to them, this is one kind of suicide what they are trying to do. It's not that they are doing and it's a long standing, it's unexpected that it can happen anytime. That doesn't mean it won't happen. So today's need of the hour is spreading more and more awareness about tobacco, spreading more and more awareness of tobacco treatment. I will just give in brief what is tobacco treatment. I will take in the next topic, but what I wanted today is to understand why there is a need of tobacco treatment. See, tobacco treatment is more of, it covers a lot of points, like we have to take the detailed history of the patient. Counseling plays its major role. We have to ask about his tobacco habits. When did he start? What amount of consumption? Does he want to quit? Any quit attempt he has done before? So it's more of understanding the psychology, understanding his socioeconomic status and why he is consuming tobacco. Accordingly, the person can be guided, can be taken out, or can be helped to quit this particular habit. So the whole thing is, today this kind of cessation centers are not available. The research says that 10 out of 7 people want to quit, but they are not getting proper guidance. The medical fraternity today doesn't have that much time to sit with patients and guide them and tell them how to quit. People, doctors and other medical fraternity just explains them that this is injurious to health and you have to quit this because you are having this disease, your treatment will be affected. But how to quit, that no one is today explaining the patient. There are few centers available, but considering the number of workload or number of patients or number of people consuming tobacco, these centers are very less. So what today's need is to create more and more people who can actually take care of this particular disease. It's a disease. I call it a disease because tobacco addiction itself is a disease. It acts at your physical, mental and social level. Physical level, it can be treated by withdrawals, can be taken care of by the medicines. But mental and social level is like, it's unpredictable when you can have this, and it is more of peer pressure and peer where socializing people actually consume this tobacco products in India. So we have to act on all these 3 levels when we are guiding the patient. So need of today's hour is actually to have such kind of tobacco cessation clinics or cessation facilities available across, so that they are easily accessible, easily available, so that patients who can come and who want to quit can come to this particular cessation clinics, and we can help them in quitting. Actually, there are different school of thoughts how to do tobacco treatment, or that is again a different topic altogether. But there is a huge need of having tobacco cessation clinics, tobacco treatment specialists in the country, in the city, and that is what I wanted to explain today. You can ask your questions if you have. That's all.